Because a lot of women who are, quote, thick in the Black community, some of these women are now saying they want to divest, they want to date white men, you know, and they want to date other races of men other than Black men. And the problem is that a lot of those men in other races, white men, Asian men, Indian men, your big butt to them is not, they look, some of them view that like you just need to lose weight.
Lord knows I don't need my butt to be no bigger than what it is now. I promise you I don't. And it's just like you don't want the attention no more. You don't want you can't never go anywhere without someone looking at you like, you don't want all of that no more. It was cool back then, but you know, you get to a point where you like, leave me alone. Like, you know, I find myself, like in the summertime, I wear big fluffy sundresses to try to cover up my butt. In the wintertime, when I have to wear jeans or sweats or something, I'm constantly tying something around my waist. I don't want to be downtown, taking care of business or in a meeting or something with this huge thing following behind me, or, you know, going to the bank, you know, having meetings or supermarket and stuff. You just don't want that 24/7 attention. Not that type of attention anyway. So
some of them are not necessarily looking at it the way a Black man would. You know, that, you know, and again, and I'm not speaking for all white men or all, I'm not, you know, but I think in terms of sexually, that's one thing, but in terms of who they want to date, who they want to eventually get engaged to, who they want to marry, again, a lot of times it's not translating over. So we really need to look at, you know, again, the bodies that many Black women bought. Like I said, there was a huge surge, 2019, 2020. Many Black women, you know, 2021, actually. I think the big surge was going to be between 2020 and 2021, the BBL epidemic. A lot of those huge butts especially, okay, I'm not necessarily talking about the ones that look natural, but the huge butts, the ones that look, quote, ghetto, the quote, ghetto booties looking butts, it doesn't always translate over. And now women are finding themselves in a situation where they want to date out, you know, and it's not being received well, because the beauty in our community, the privileges that we get as Black women from our men, often, it doesn't always translate over to other communities and other races. Don't expect to get the same privileges from an Asian man or a white man. Don't expect them to see your beauty the way a Black man is going to see your beauty. You know, they may not. And again, sexually, maybe some of them will, but will they, if your butt is that big, do they want to take you to meet their family? And, you know, I mean, maybe not.
I just don't need the hugeness and the giganticness and the ghetto-ness, because I sort of consider my butt, it's already crossed over into, I've always thought this about my butt, that it was a little it's a ghetto booty, basically. It's a ghetto booty. It's no use of trying to sugarcoat it. It's a good ghetto booty. And I used to joke to my friends all the time, like my girlfriends. I'm like, you know what, girl? I don't have a daytime booty. I have a nighttime booty. My booty is not daytime friendly, if that makes any sense to you. Because it's like I'm always covering it up during the day if I have to go out. Now at night, clubs and lounges and stuff, my butt is more appropriate for those type of atmospheres, you know, that. But, you know, going to family cookouts and in-laws dinners and stuff, and I'm like, how in the world am I gonna hide this? Because even the most reserved person is going to notice it. Like, most people don't say anything about it, but most reserved people don't. But women, kids, anybody. It's just real noticeable, basically.
And this is the part that nobody wants to really deal with, is her branding, right? And maybe this was branding that she did to herself, but there's a branding of her as ghetto and her butt as a ghetto butt, you know, and like arguably is because of the size of her butt, right? But then we all see the Kardashians, we all see all of the non-black women who went out to essentially emulate this body type, who had butts that in my opinion didn't really match their frame, but no one was saying they were ghetto or branding them as having a ghetto butt. So I think, you know, and some of that of course is rooted in Buffy's start in hip hop, you know, and of course, you know, coming from hip hop, being in rap video, you know, it's understandable, you know, that obviously if you're talking about the hip hop scene, there could be a potential stigma of one being ghetto, right? Or having a ghetto booty, because that is at one time, and maybe even still today, that is what was required to be noticed in hip hop. That is why Nicki Minaj got butt shots. You know, that is why, you know, a lot of women in the industry look the way they do now, and why many of them are suffering, because they wanted the image that hip hop was encouraging and was promoting women to look like. I think that, again, the black community is not ready to really look at beauty standards. Even the way your body looks in terms of how your weight is distributed can open and close doors depending on what room you want to be in. And Buffy talks about this, and which is why now, you know, as a businesswoman with that butt, you know, I would imagine it could affect, you know, certain things, you know, perhaps leading into why her clothing line is not as widely known. And I believe Buffy when she say her butt is real. I know it's hard to believe, but regardless of whether your butt is real or fake, you know, if someone looks like a video model and they're shaped like that, which is hard to hide, even though Buffy tries to say that she tries to hide her butt during the day, what bearing will having a big butt, what bearing does that have on one's career outcomes, you know, in the boardroom, in the corporate office, you know, at the meeting, you know, how does that translate over into, because we all know at the club you're good. You know, if you are walking through a black neighborhood, you're good. You're going to get a lot of attention. But I think what a lot of women are finding is that this look that was trendy, this look that many women bought, this look that many men desire, doesn't easily translate over into your average everyday spaces and places. It doesn't easily translate over, again, to the boardroom, to the corporate office, to the meeting, you know, that you have to have. And Buffy, I think, has found some challenges. And so this is going to be the challenge with body privilege, is that body privilege is niched. It's going to give you those privileges, again, with black men. It's going to give you those privileges in if you want to be in videos, in hip hop videos, if you want the rappers to notice you, or, you know, whatever. But if you are trying to build a business, an empire, I'm not saying you can't do that, because Kim Kardashian did that, and that is what we need to look at, is what if you are trying to build an empire, a business, become a brand, as a black woman having a very large butt, will that hold you back? Will you be viewed as ghetto, as hood? Will your butt be looked at as just a ghetto booty? And what is interesting is that this Kim Kardashian was not affected by that. It helped her. In Kim Kardashian's case, Khloe's case, Kylie, all of them, it helped them. But it didn't help Buffy. Why is that? You know, and that is something very interesting to think about. You know, why did body privilege fail Buffy the Body in the end? Yes, it helped her for so many years. She was able to, you know, get to where she is now by way of having a big butt and again, having the look that is held on a pedestal in the Black community. But it's not helping her today as far as, you know, her business. And you know, and even though she makes clothes for curvier women and all that, we don't know about these clothes. You know, I only know about this clothing line because I'm doing the Slim Thick series and I'm researching it. I think there's, you know, something very unique about the Black community, and a lot of those things I absolutely love. I actually do love that we have our own standard of beauty. But I also think, again, the tricky thing is this standard of beauty that we have in our community translating over even when it comes to dating. This is where dating and relationships and all that can get a little tricky. So we're going to be talking in this series, you know, more about this and some other topics I want to bring up related to this. But thank you so much for listening, and, you know, let me know what you think. Again, I guess the question here is, what is the value of having a slim thick body, a thick body or a slim thick body in communities outside of the Black community? What is the value of having a slim thick body in career spaces, right? Is there a value outside of the Black community? I mean, is this just something that we care about and nobody else? And if there is value outside of the Black community, how far can it take women? You know, how far the body privilege that I talk about, how far can that really take a woman? And I think if we look at Buffy and what happened with Buffy is evidence, perhaps, maybe, you know, of how far you can really go as a Black woman. Now, yes, as a white woman, if you're Kim Kardashian, maybe you can go further. If you're Khloe and Kylie, maybe you can go further. But as a Black woman, particularly a dark-skinned Black woman, I'm not sure that there's much valuable currency there. And this is sort of the downfall that I wanted to highlight about, again, the slim thick. And I think women are seeing this, which is why, you know, a lot of surgeries are being, you know, reversed. People are trying to go more natural. But I think there's nothing stopping another surge of butt lifts. There's nothing stopping that. So comment below. Let me know what you think about this. Like, share, and subscribe. Click the links in the description box and get to know my business, Curated Legacy, LLC. I offer coaching, I offer consulting, I offer a speaking service, a mentoring service, and a lot more. Join the Black and Invisible YouTube membership group and purchase my book about being an invisible Black woman on Amazon. And as always, stay tuned for more videos.